Hi, I'm Chase Garnham with Archangel Radio with Coach Rivers for our weekly coaches interview. Coach, last week you had a bye week. Week before, we'll recap that quickly. It was a key game against Mobile Christian. Ended up losing 40 to 20, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously that was a key game. It had big playoff implications. I think the sentiment going into the game was felt really good about the matchup. Came out a little bit flat, got down quick early. What happened early in the game, and what was the main reason for not being able to respond and kind of get back in the game?
Yeah, it got away from us early. It hadn't happened all year. They drove and scored to start the game, and then we went out. And went 3 and out. We just were to hair off on a few things, and then we had to snap over our head, and then quickly it's 10-0. And I thought if we could settle in right there, then maybe calm down and be all right. And it just kind of snowballed. I felt like we got out-coached, we got outplayed, and it was just kind of a perfect storm for them. What I did like about what we did was, although we didn't get a first down until about 3 minutes left in the half, was we didn't quit. The guys didn't quit. And there are no moral victories, but there's something about the way we played throughout the rest of the game. And, so it was one of those that got away. I told the guys, hey, you chunk it up for it got away, let's learn from it and move on. There's not one of those, well, if we'd have made this and we'd have made that. It's one of those, when it gets like that, it's just a matter of, hey, who's going to keep playing hard? You find out a little bit about the character of your team, and I thought that held true. What we thought was we got a high character group of guys that are going to fight till the end, and then we move on from it. And sometimes, you wish it wasn't a bye week next so you could hurry up and get back on track. But for us, I thought physically we were a little bit tired. I thought it was good for us to have a few days off. I feel like we've had a good week this week, and I'm excited about the challenge this week. It doesn't get any easier, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but excited about the challenge.
No doubt. And watching the game against Mobile Christian, it seemed like we didn't have quite the edge that we normally do to begin the game. And obviously that could be just things not going our way, and so it appears that. But in the second half, to your point, it's like the players seem to have more edge. There's more intensity. They kind of were offended almost, right? And trying to show that they could hang with Mobile Christian. As far as Mobile Christian, they came out with 2 down linemen with their hand in the ground, and then everybody else was standing up. Was that something you expected? They also had a lot of team speed. So
yeah, they did, and they again, it was kind of one of their what we had seen on tape. Not that they didn't play the same front structure or coverages. Mm-hmm. They didn't look that explosive. They hadn't looked that explosive again. I think that was one of the best games they played all year. And then some of the tape we had, the opponents that they played, we knew nothing about. So it's just really hard to kind of gauge that. But I agree with what you said as far as the edge. And I think we've talked a lot this week about the edge we had against Jackson. Going all the way back to we never won a region game and who gives us a chance and all that. But we played with a little bit of we're not going to be denied. Somehow, some way, we're going to find a way.
Yeah. And
so we're trying to recreate that this week because it's going to be a similar opponent in Vigor, undefeated. Probably the best team in the state, thus far. I think they'll probably they'll be 2 in the poll, behind Madison Academy, and I've already won the region, and they're good, and they are good, and but we're going to give them all we got and see what happens.
Yeah, so to set the stage this week, right now St. Michael's in a 4-way tie, if I'm not mistaken, with Jackson, Williamson, and Mobile Christian, all having 2 losses in region. Vigor's undefeated. What is the playoff landscape? Do we have to win to get into the game? And what are the possible outcomes? Yeah,
so what we've talked about all week was, hey, this is a playoff game. This is the first round of the playoffs start this week. We win, we're in. We don't win, we're not in. There's no way we can get in if we don't win the game. So it starts this week. We win, we advance, and the crazy thing is we are in a 4-way tie, but if we win the game, we'll be the 2 seed. Mm-hmm. So you end up getting a home playoff game. So it's an exciting week. It's senior night. I think it's one of those games where I don't like the term you got nothing to lose. Well, yeah, you do. You got the game to lose, but it's a little bit of let's go see what happens. We've had a heck of a year, and here we are with this bunch. And I think the thing I try to remind our boys is it's not different this week. Wow, we're playing Vigor, and all this is on the line, so we have to do this. No, we don't. We have to our lineman assignment, fundamentals and technique and effort, the same things you've heard me say every week, and just do that really well. Take care of the football, tackle, all those things, and give ourselves a chance. And it's kind of the way I've always looked at the games like this is why not us? Why not us be the team to knock them off and find a way to get in and host a playoff game? So I think our confidence will be there. They're going to be big and they're going to be fast. Yeah. And I told our guys, what's new? Yeah. Like, what's new, guys? Right, yeah. Like, what's new? It seems like that's what it's been every week. Yeah. And we haven't backed down. Again, I want our boys to know, hey, last Mobile Christian game, it didn't play well. We're the same guys that beat Jackson, the same guys that had Williamson on the ropes.
Yep.
We're the same team. We just didn't play well that night. So don't let that hurt confidence or anything or belief. And I don't think it has. We've had a heck of a week of practice.
Yeah, and with Vigor, like you said, big, strong, fast, like Williamson, like Jackson. They've obviously had some distractions on their end this week, having to play on Monday. What other opportunities do you think you have outside of that distraction to maybe have an advantage against Vigor? Is there any area of the game where you're really looking at taking advantage of?
Well, I think one thing is we're going to try formationally to keep them spread out. They're already like to be spread out in kind of a two shell a lot of the times. Now they'll bring some pressure and play man and do some of that. So we're going to try to keep them spread out. It seems to our advantage not to bring them all in there and try to go man on man. To see if we can spread them out. Gain a blocker with some things, with some RPO stuff, and really, you look at the formula to beat Jackson. Not that it's a formula, but how we beat Jackson. Ezra Sexton had 31 carries in that game. He only had 81 yards, which I don't mean only, but I mean that's just 2.5 a carry. But it was we controlled the game. We got first downs. Their offense stayed on the sideline, and we found a way to get in the end zone a few times. We're going to have a few big plays, but I think that's kind of the ticket. We got to get a few turnovers. But hey, they got to come to our place. I think it's going to be our biggest crowd of the year. It's going to be a great night. And shoot, I asked some of the seniors, hey, have you ever been in a situation to win and go to the playoffs? It's like, hey, this is a great opportunity. So I hope that they embrace that and just go cut it loose. And again, see what happens.
First bye week. You've had some other weeks where you didn't play till Friday, so you had an extra day of preparation. Did you spend the bye week doing anything different?
We practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and gave them a long weekend, and we practiced short practices. I think what we try to do is focus on some individual stuff, fundamentals and technique stuff, and have a little fun. I think the thing is, it's been you think back to spring and summer, and it's a long year for these guys. It's been football and serious and all this, and then we've had some fun along the way. But so I think just let's not make it a week about this is what we got beat and this is this, this is what we got to fix. Let's make it a week, have a little fun. Let's hone in on some details. Yeah. Not even talk about Vigor much. Now us as coaches were running a few things just to see do we like this or not as we were getting ready for Vigor, but not try to game plan for 2 weeks. It's too long. I hated game planning as a player for 2 weeks. And I can only imagine at the high school level, you ask them to game plan to have that in their head for 2 weeks. So we got back Monday and kind of hit it Monday and started the week. And I feel good about where we are. We're going to have some stuff we haven't done on both sides of the ball. How much of that messes them up, we'll see. But I think it's one of those games, again, I don't want to ever speak for another team, but they've locked up the region. They're coming over here to play us, and they're seeing the scores, Mobile Christian, seeing Williamson beat us.
Had a weird week.
That had a weird week, and so I have to think that, if we can play with that edge we talked about, that we can be in it early, and then I think then it'll be a close game down the stretch and find a way to win. Yeah,
and so Josh Murphy, he's had a great year at quarterback, his first year as a quarterback. Last week he had a few turnovers. I think he had 3 interceptions. That's been somewhat of an issue throughout the course of the season. What have you taken from your past relationships with coaches and the way they've coached you as a quarterback? I know coach relationships with quarterbacks are very particular. You don't want other people in the ear of your quarterback. How have you kind of guided Josh and helped him overcome adversity?
Yeah, I think and he knows this. He's a mature young man, but he knows. Shooting the 2 games, those Williamson and Mobile Christian, we've had 6 interceptions in those 2 games, and it's tough. And usually, and again, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with the quarterback. Usually, when you don't win, the quarterback probably didn't play real good. It's usually hard that's part of the position. The quarterback plays good, you got a chance to win. He doesn't play good, you got a lot to overcome. But I don't think Josh feels that weight of that on him, and I don't want him certainly to. And we kept throwing it the other night. When we were down, we're going to keep trying to win. Keep throwing it. I want to make sure he knows. Shoot, I'm not nervous now and worried you're going to make a mistake. And he's had a heck of a year, first year starting. And I tell him all the time, that's not your last interception you're ever going to throw. It's just not. But he's confident. He's had a good week. But I have reminded him, let's end the play with the ball. If it's a sack, if you have to throw it away, end the play with a punt. If a punt is the only way we need to give it to them. Because teams like this that are good, really good, you can't give them anything. Let's make them earn it all. And if they can earn it all night and beat us, then they will. But if we don't give them anything and play the way we can play, we'll have a chance.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I had, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thanks.